Hey everyone, and we are back with another edition of Mr. D's Movie Club, and you can see that I am dressed for the ballpark. I am on my way to a baseball game right now. First, I'm going to be hitting up the Round Rock Express, and I am wearing the Round Rock Armadillos, which those of you who are fans of the show Fear the Walking Dead, they shot a bunch of season, I don't know, I don't watch it, at Del Diamond at Round Rock, Texas, and for a couple of games, the Express played as the Armadillos. They made this cool hat, and I'm going to wear that tonight at the game. And then I'm going to head down to Corpus Christi to watch the Hooks, my absolute favorite minor league team. What? What's that? There's no baseball. Well, okay, I can't just this world anymore. I'm done. So no, I've been talked down a little bit. No, there's no baseball right now. There's no anything right now. And that's completely understandable. And we realize we're seeing the numbers in Texas that our peak, we might have even passed it already, is getting lower. And, someday we'll start to work our way back into normalcy. So no, we can't get out to the ball game this weekend. Maybe hopefully later in the season, we'll get some Major League Baseball. But what we do have are baseball movies. I think baseball movies work for a lot of reasons, even for people who don't necessarily like baseball games, which I do think those people are certifiably insane, but I do think that they work for a lot of different reasons. And one of them is I think it's a great combination of team sport, but it's really very individual, and it is, pitcher versus batter. And baseball is a game where there's time for reflection in the game, and you can really focus on things like, particularly in a film's perspective, personal demons. And baseball is one of these games where if you're not right mentally, then you're not necessarily going to be right physically. And so you can play on that in a lot of different ways in the game of baseball. Baseball is a great metaphor for life. The game is long. You need a lot of patience. Perseverance is a key part of playing baseball. And those translate really, really well to movies. I think they make the best sports movies. I think that and boxing, weirdly enough. I think boxing movies like Rocky obviously kind of work in that sort of view as well, but I think baseball movies work, and we've got a couple of different choices today, and including a guest pick, which I'll get to. So our pick for little kids, there was a run in the late 90s of just really kid-friendly baseball movies, and I'm not going easy with The Sandlot. One, I'm not a huge fan, so hopefully you'll keep watching. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of The Sandlot. I think I saw it much too late, and on my baseball shows, someone compared it to like Stand By Me, but less important. And I think that's fair in structure. So the kid one I'm going to pick is Little Big League. And I think that is the ultimate, or in my mind, the ultimate kid fantasy come true of a young kid, 12, 13 years old, still learning to play the game, who inherits the Minnesota Twins. I love all the comedy, which it's relatively low hanging fruit, but it really works on so many different levels. Watching him try to interact with these major leaguers, the inappropriate behavior that major leaguers carry with him trying to be their manager and owner. There's a great line in there about he has to cut a player, and the player he cuts says, "I'm supposed to go home and tell my wife that it's okay you cut me because you like my baseball card." It's a great line in there. And actually our guest picker reminded me of that line when we were talking about what we were gonna pick for that selection. So that's our sort of super kid-friendly selection. We have two other selections as well. And the first one is what many people consider the greatest baseball movie ever made. And it's really family-friendly, except that I think a lot of where it hits you maybe goes over a younger watcher's head. But that's Field of Dreams. And, Field of Dreams, in so many ways, is my go-to film when I need a boost and I need to feel a little bit better about life. And it's the well-known story of the guy that hears a voice and he plows over his cornfield and he builds a baseball field, and the ghosts of baseball's past start coming back. But like every good movie, it's about a search for something. And in this case, it's about Ray Kinsella searching for the connection he didn't know he needed with his father. And, full disclosure, my dad and I have a very odd relationship. Sometimes we're very close, sometimes we're not. And that movie really hits me. And there's a couple things about that film that I didn't fully realize until my most recent rewatch. It's actually a movie I teach in my cinema of baseball class. And what I love about teaching that movie is I'll introduce it and I tell the kids, hey, listen, at the end of the movie, don't look in the back of the classroom for at least 5 minutes. I need some time to get it together. And that's because I'm always in tears. And at first, I was in tears at the moment where Ray asks his dad to play catch. And we learn through the movie what that means. And then, and that's the obvious moment. It's the obvious moment of a father and a son that are maybe not here and are trying to find a way to get there, and it's that bravery of taking the first step. And then the most recent time I watched it, or the second to most recent time I watched it, I kind of lost it when Moonlight Graham steps over the foul line and becomes an old man again to save the little girl. And I couldn't quite figure out why. And then the last time I watched it, I kind of like how this is turning into when did I cry during Field of Dreams. But I started to really lose it after Graham starts to walk back into the corn and Shoeless Joe says, hey kid, you were good. And just waterworks. And I think it's because that lost potential. I'm a guy in my 40s. I'm starting to realize that, there are certain things I'm not going to be able to do anymore. And so I think it's a beautiful part of life, I think. And it's great because I have so many students that I'm so connected to, and my daughter and grandkids grandkids. I think it's the first time I said plural that way. But it's one of those movies that makes you reflect. And it's, obviously the great dialogue of James Earl Jones talking about what baseball means to this country. That's pretty apropos for where we are right now. One of the things I would like to say is when you think about minor league baseball, a lot of teams, most importantly the Portland Sea Dogs, they recreate that speech, and they put a cornfield in their outfield, and they have the players come out in old-timey uniforms at their last game of the season. So we're supposed to get up there this year. Fingers crossed that's still going to happen. My other choice is an independent film called The Open Road. And it's apropos again that I'm wearing this Hooks jersey because Justin Timberlake, in the first of 2 baseball movies he did, one was Trouble with the Curve, which is another great film, playing a struggling minor leaguer whose father, who's he's estranged with, because this happens in baseball movies, people don't be talking to their dads, is a Astros Hall of Famer who took them to the World Series and won it before he retired. And it's a very independent film. Justin Timberlake's great. Jeff Bridges is doing his thing as his father. Mary Steenburgen, Kate Mara, fantastic movie featuring the Corpus Christi Hooks, Whataburger Field, all that fun stuff. What's cool about it, for any of my old Astros fans out there, is that they basically take some footage from the 1986 NLCS where the Astros lost to the Mets and repurpose it and re-edit it to make it look like they won the Mets, that they beat the Mets and went on to win the World Series. So anything I can do to exercise those particular demons, I'm all about it. So that's The Open Road, Field of Dreams, and Little Big League. Now, Kevin Steen, who those of you who work at St. Michael's Catholic Academy with me know that he is the assistant athletic director, wanted me to make sure that y'all had a chance to see Rookie of the Year. It's about a little kid who falls, breaks his arm, and develops an incredible fastball and ends up pitching for the Cubs. I didn't include it in my list because I'm generally speaking anti-Cubs propaganda, really and truly. So those are our choices. I hope you dig them. There is no Lord Vader shot today. He committed betrayal, and he is in my wife's home office right now. They are doing she's doing like a work happy hour virtually. So I guess that's where he is. He has made his choice. I do want to again thank you so much to my fellow faculty and staff from St. Michael's Catholic Academy, all the students and the parents who've been enjoying the videos. And I want to do another shout out again to St. Pius X Catholic high school in Houston, Texas, and I know they've been sharing some of these with their cinema club. And I want to do a shout out to our friend Joanna, who I found, she's one of my wife's very best friends, who's a big fan of these and has been sharing them with her student group. So up there in New Jersey. So Joanna, hope you're safe. Thanks for watching, and we will see you guys next week with another selection from Mr. D's Movie Club.